Welcome back to No Followers Podcast, where we give you bite-sized insight into the entrepreneurial journey. So
Specific to manufacturing, though.
specific to manufacturing, especially what we're working on right now.
Wow, you
Which
just
is-
put candy in your mouth as we start the podcast.
I wanted
That's
the candy.
genius. Okay, that's fine.
Hey, it is what it is. It's real life.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of incubator 1. Mm-hmm. We got this product that's metal.
Right up my alley.
I'll let you finish chewing.
Please, vamp for a little bit, as I say.
I'm going to just mention every rant so that you can't answer right now.
That's fine. Don't do it. Don't bring up my favorite person.
I won't bring up your favorite person or company. So in our incubator, right, we brought in a number of prototype companies. They're all plastics or metals, and some are even concept out of cardboard, which we've talked about before. This one, kind of unique because it was already used in market. He built it for his own use, and now we're looking to expand it. So we're looking at prototype to manufacture scale. I can bring up economy of scale because that's a whole different conversation that most people in our incubator aren't ready for.
Yeah.
But this company is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issue with the company with awareness and education because of the name they chose.
Yep.
Right. And I'll say Switchblade, right?
Yeah.
Until you understand the concept of the invention, you have no idea why it's called Switchblade.
Yeah. Right. And it's an interesting one because we worked with him privately, pre-incubator, and took him from really idea stage to full install. And with full install, he has full bill of materials, full print set. He could basically have this made anywhere in the country or overseas. But the reason that we moved him into kind of he's actually, in my opinion, a little bit far ahead for an incubator. But the reason I think it fits is because even though he is past what I would call prototype stage, what he was missing was the product market fit and the market validation component.
I would disagree.
Sure.
I think, as I want to do all the time with you.
Please.
I think he was good for the incubator because he was missing a lot of the markets that we found with joint research.
Yeah.
Like, he built it as a cabinet system, and we immediately pivoted it to a closet system too.
Right.
Not taking one of, and the beauty of his invention is we can use almost the same products with minuscule change.
I think you're agreeing with me though, because since he was missing the market validation and all that stuff, it was when trying to do that research that we found the fit for the
we found the
world.
faster to market fit.
Yeah. And that's that alpha product like you always talk about, or the beachhead product.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that was product market fit.
All right. I see what you're saying.
Just saying.
Yeah.
What do I know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out now if it's product market fit.
We already have.
As we
I
do
mean,
installs.
he's not even out of the incubator, and we have how many installs in a closet?
Yeah. We have at least
4?
one. Yeah, I mean, one that.
One's already going in.
Well, that's what I was
but
going
we
to
have-
say. One that's moving. Yeah. And then other ones lined up.
Yeah, so I mean, that's commercialization that you shouldn't really see in an incubator.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I was saying, I think that he's at a good stage for market readiness, but talking about economies of scale, we moved him quickly with a product that we can make today, given the resources he has and the shared resources we have. But he does have a product that would be quickly scaled. He has a very scalable product, which I think is a good thing. And his product, I think, also in moving him from kitchen cabinets into closets, you know, if a lot of times people like to talk about licensing, the ability to license his product, I think, is a high potential because it addresses a real issue that exists in the closet market, which is the issue of shoddy installs leading to a lot of return visits and return work.
Yeah, and truly customizable because there's a lot of very well-known brands in the closet space that aren't really customizable.
Yeah.
They're customizable where the piece gets cut. And we've seen, because we've done a lot of competitor analysis where there's jagged ends and so forth, so it's not really a finished product.
Right.
But I also think going back to this particular client, Chris, with Switchblades, is he's somebody that pushed against what we were saying. And it wasn't disrespectful, the conversation. It was a long conversation, though.
Yeah.
To bring him around to what we were seeing that he didn't. So I thought on a certain level, that's the kind of relationships we're looking for. Like, just because we say it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I also don't want to just get into arguments because people feel like we're attacking them. And I think he thought we were taking away his uniqueness.
Yeah. Which is, absolutely not what we were doing. I think what we were doing was trying to find the right, like you were saying, alpha market or beachhead product where that uniqueness can shine. Because I think as a kitchen system, while it's interesting, it's hard to compare it to other competitive cabinet systems that are out there. Versus in a closet, I think the uniqueness of it, the unique value, I should say, not just that it is unique, the value of how modular it is and how it can be applied to any shape and any size room quickly really shines. Versus a kitchen where part of the versatility in a kitchen is that it could look like a traditional cabinet or it could look like a modern cabinet, which is good on one hand, but it's bad on another hand because if it looks like a traditional cabinet, you don't really see the value add. Versus in a closet, you really see very quickly the modularity of it, how quickly it installs, and how you can really customize a room pretty quickly using his system.
Yeah, I also think us pivoting to closets points out something that we've talked a lot about on other podcasts, because we're always trying to give people things to think about as they're building out their ideas.
Yeah.
The closet has less variables than a kitchen.
Yep.
So if you want to get to manufacturing faster, right, you could have this lengthy list of things that could or have to be built to make the cabinet system work.
Yep.
In the closet, it's truly a much smaller finite number.
Right.
And that helps you because our resources for manufacturing metal are still not at scale.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's in my term, it's like prototypes. We're building almost custom pieces every time somebody does an install.
Yep. Each time. Yeah. But that was one of the things that when you talk about the conversation about like coachability and, you don't want to be disrespectful, but you talk about how to kind of win someone over by saying to them something like, it's not putting our idea in front of anyone else's idea, but it's coming back to some of the data and some of the metrics. And the metrics were, for a kitchen, there are all these things that are considered standard, right? Countertops, doors, drawers, new drawers that are coming out, like the pop-up KitchenAid mixer drawers, all that kind of stuff, which you need to include in your SKU list, in your bill of materials as standard. Versus in a closet, countertops, doors, sliding drawers, those are all upgrades and extras. Your standard is cubbies and hanging space. And by minimizing that, it allows us... And shelving, sorry, yeah. And by keeping it to that kind of minimal product, it allows us to really drill down on, let's get this into customers' hands, let's get feedback, and find out in their words, how do they use it and what's the value added. So I think that was a big turning point for him because, this product is like his baby and, he's done one kitchen install with it and excited about it. So to say, hey, we're going to go back a step, take your same idea, tweak slightly, apply to closets. He just wanted to see that we walked through everything. And I think once we kind of did that as a team, we were all on the same page and then it was full force ahead.
I think that's something for people at home who are listening or thinking about designing their product. The thing that always amazes me is we can all look at the same information and come up with vastly different reasons to go in a certain direction. But if you've done it long enough and you can understand like the reasons why a certain decision is made, like the closet, like we made that decision with a very calculated mind. We're like limited resources. The kitchens take way too long to build out.
Yep.
How many clients can I iterate in a short amount of time? Like the first closet's going to go in what, 3-4 weeks?
Yeah.
The kitchen, we would be waiting months.
Yep.
So I just think sometimes having somebody else's point of view for the things you're not thinking about as an inventor, right? And we've talked about this
Yeah.
with your own inventions.
Yeah.
Like you and I don't come at it the same way. We're trying to get to the same goal.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there thinking about all the things you have to change
Yeah.
in the construct. And I'm like, is that really important to get it into a customer's hands at this point?
Yeah.
Right. And I think, yeah. And, to his credit, it wasn't an argument at all. It was a really engaged conversation that I wish we had filmed, because it's almost a model for how to deal with your creators or how to deal with some of your partners. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, and even like you said, like when you think about your first mover product, you want to get to being able to show the finished product quickly. And again, with kitchens, you have outside vendors. So this is something we talk about with supply chain management, is what of your supply chain is outside vendors or outside resources. With a kitchen, even though he's making the cabinet system, or we're making the cabinet system, we still have to call in the countertop guys. We still have to call in, electricians probably to do if there's under cabinet lighting and outlets. So just to get to, I want to be able to have a good visual of the finished product, you now have to rely on at least 3 outside vendors. With the closet, that gets reduced down to like 1, maybe. And so you get that turnaround and that impact visual way faster than with the kitchen product. So, I mean, we all think, us and Chris and the team, we all think it's the right move. We're excited to get these installs done and get in front of people and see what they think.
And just from a million conversations that we've had, us going after a different alpha or first mover product doesn't negate all the other products that have been designed already, because I know he has a lot of ideas. It's just like, what is going to get us traction so we can create the real dialogue of being in market.
Right.
Because if you sit back and you just have an idea, you have no idea what the market thinks.
Right.
Right. And you've said this on numerous podcasts.
Yeah.
Until we get market intel, you don't really have a business.
Yeah.
And you don't really have a product because you don't know how they're going to use it.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing to No Followers Podcast. We'll see you next week.